Okay. All right. Hello, guys. We're back. So, if you can still remember, again, this is compendium for soil science. We'll be focusing again on the physical properties and introductory parts for soil science. As I've mentioned in my previous video, Ma'am Rene Jane Alesta will cover the rest. Siya mo'y mangtas ng soil. So, if you do remember last time, we only covered up to number 15 gamaya ra di ay, oy. So this time we will try to cover hopefully a little bit more. Okay? Time check ko no. Alita ni butang pakita ko sa oras 2:12 p.m. Okay. Yun. So, number 16. Soil microorganisms that degrade carbon containing pesticide are considered. That degrade carbon containing pesticides are considered. Again, this is not a question, libog ko. But anyway, based on the options, phototrophs, chemotrophs, heterotrophs, autotrophs, to be honest, well, okay, boss, correct answer. But the way I see things, ang troph has something to do with nutrition or nutrient. So when we say phototroph, these are organisms that takes energy from light. Chemotrophs, okay, gets its nutrients or energy from chemicals. Heterotrophs are basically those nga nag mukaon ni og tanom og hayop. Okay, so they get their energy from plants and animals. Autotrophs, they make their own. So ang plants can be considered, I think, phototrophs or autotrophs because they make their own food. So in this case, since they're talking about carbon-containing pesticide, I think these are chemotrophs. All right. Number 17. The most abundant gas in the soil atmosphere. So if you do still remember, wait, para I can type things. If you do still remember, do na tay solid, liquid, o gas nga phase sa soil. Diba? So, naa siya solid, liquid, o gaseous. So, diba? Gaseous phase niya. And then, let me make that one bigger. And then, take out the line spacing. Okay, and then, ang components niya, we have the mineral matter, organic matter, soil air, o soil water. So, mo ni ang components. Ang mineral matter is 45%. Organic matter is around 5%. Okay, soil air is about 25%. Syempre, that will depend on the amount of moisture present at that particular time. So this is very variable actually. Right. So, syempre, si mineral or organic matter mo ni ang atong solid part. Liquid part, of course, is soil water. Gaseous part can be both soil air and soil water because sometimes water is in its vapor form. Okay, so don't forget that one. So here, ang question, ang unsa kuno ang most abundant gas in the soil atmosphere? Okay, we talk about gases nga naa sa atmosphere, dili sa soil lang. Atmospheric gases, it's about 79%. Okay, nitrogen. And then about 21% oxygen. Atmosphere ni ha. Then, wala na, biki na. Butang tala nag 78 ra siguro na. And around 1%, no? Trace gases. So, unsa may pinakadaghan sa atmosphere, it's actually nitrogen. Correspondingly, if we talk about the soil atmosphere, ang pinaka-abundant should also be nitrogen because ang hangin nga nasa soil is the same hangin nga nasa ato ang atmosphere. Although ang CO2 is slightly higher kaya napamantay we have microorganisms sa we have microorganisms sa soil nga mo produce og CO2 unya dili man ing ana kadali ang pag-diffuse niya unlike that of the case atmosphere. So it's slightly higher lang, but basically more or less N2 is about 78%, O2 is also about 21% or a little bit less than that. So the correct answer for number 17 should be letter C, or nitrogen. The physicist who formulated the law, 18 na ta, governing the rate of settling particle in viscous medium. Si Jenny ba kuno, si Dokochev ba kuno, si Lal, or si Stoke. Kalimot na ko nani nilang uban, but luckily I do remember nga si Stoke ang nag-develop sa Stokes law. Ang Stokes law nagaingon nga ang settling velocity sa isa ka soil particle is proportional to symbol sa proportional katong alpha gani. Wait, let me see para mas duol-duol ta sa tinuod. Alpha symbol alpha asa si alpha, that one is proportional to the square of the diameter sa particle. Yun, proportional siya. Or settling velocity is equal to a certain constant times the square of the diameter of that particle. Okay? So, mo ni siya ang Stokes law. So, in this case, dili si Jenny, dili si Dokochev, dili si Lal, siya ang nag-formulate, si Stoke. Okay, again ha, ang settling velocity, the law governing the rate of settling particles in a viscous medium. So, think of soil particles settling on a column of water. Okay? And then, number 19, under its natural occurrence, a soil is aggregated and porous. Di gyapon ni question, libog ko mga ingani dinalian ba. But anyway, kamo pod, so during the board examination also, okay naman siguro kung audio ani. During the board examination later on when you will be taking it, ang questions pod are sometimes a little bit like this. They are not properly stated, no? So you have to be keen on things like this. For example, number 19, under its natural occurrence, a soil is aggregated and porous. It's not even a question. It's not asking you to choose A, B, C, or D. Pero ayuho ninyo pagsabot ang statement because, like I said, it's not a question, such that you can choose which of those under it is the one that you can consider as the best answer. So sometimes there are cases nga you don't actually see a correct answer. Instead, you would see the best answer among the choices given. So, tiwason sa natanig basa ha. Under its natural occurrence, a soil is aggregated and porous. An aggregate is composed of millions of individual particles. Then, B, the pores are interconnected. Nanapod ang all of the above. Olarks na. The pores are interconnected channels to other pores. Water and air occupy the pores. All of the above. I don't have to answer that one. I think you already know what is the answer. No? Kanang mahutta na kag question ba? Kutob na lang sa bisag unsang imuhang i-come up with. Number 20. Rocks that are formed when magma did not reach. I think I need to make my cursor a little bit bigger. Change the mouse pointer color. Yeah. I want to change that one. Cursor thickness, I want it to be that one, and then ang color. Wait, change pointer color. Dili man mo. Display cursor and pointer size. I don't know. No. Jeta. Let's see. Pili sa tag. Bati man. Text na lang. Wala effecting ko ano ni. I'll have it a little bit bigger. Pointer color. Yeah. That one na lang siguro. Okay. So yeah, you can see it better. In this case, since this is a picture, problema ta. Here, it's better. All right. Let's continue. Rocks that are formed when magma did not reach the Earth's surface but solidifies in the cavities or cracks that the magma had made by pushing the surrounding rock apart or by melting or dissolving it. Mo na ni ako ang nahisgutan also before. Remember, we have three kinds of rocks: sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic. I already have described all three before in one of the questions. And then an igneous rock, for example, can either be an extrusive or an intrusive rock. Ang extrusive are the ones nga katong mugawas sa surface, mo adto sa babaw sa crust, and then didto siya mo solidify. Intrusive, on the other hand, is dito siya sa ilaw. So based on this description, may solidify siya sa ilaw. Rocks that are formed when magma did not reach the Earth's surface but solidifies in the cavities, intrusive na siya. Okay? Granitic rocks, basalt, kining granite, kining basalt, both are still igneous rocks. Money extrusive or intrusive. So correct answer for number 20 should be intrusive. 21. Loose earth materials above solid rock. Kini gitan-aw tani before. Kalimot na pug ko ani. Loose earth materials above solid rock. I think the correct answer here is regolith. Let me try to look that up. Regolith. A region of loose, unconsolidated rock and dust that sits atop a layer of bedrock. Okay na ha? Klaro kayo na. Okay? The other one nga term, ang solum. Atong tanawon ang solum. Okay. Solum, plural sola, and so it consists of the surface and subsoil layers that have undergone the same soil forming conditions. The base of the solum is relatively unweathered parent material. So, in this case, loose earth materials above solid rock, wala siya gingan lang ng soil, but it's actually the regolith. Okay? Ang solum ang upper part na. So what actually forms part of the soil is the solum. Pedon profile, na-cover na nato na. Hapluents are young soils with minimal development. In what order does the soil belong? Hapluents, na napod ang ents. Okay? So, soil orders. Let me look up soil orders. This will be covered in detail ni Miss Alesna Pohon. Summoning US soil orders. I think it's better to see this one. Nailistahan. Okay. 12 USDA soil orders. Yun. Entisols, inceptisols, mollisols, alphisols, ultisols, gellisols, vertisols, aridisols, podosols, histosols, andisols, and oxysols. Like I said, i-cover ni Ma'am Miss Rene Jane ang uban. Ang atong na sugatan karon is, nope, not that one. This one is ang hapluents. Like I said, ang hapluents na ENTS. So actually, these are entisols. Ept man ang inceptisol. So lahi siya gipanggamit, no? So ang entisols is ent. Ang inceptisols is ept. Ang mollisols, I think is mol niya. Ang alphisols, ult ang ultisols, ang gellisols na ay gel, ang vertisols kay na ay vert niya. Ari ang aridisols niya, murag spopod ang spodosols niya. Histo ang histosols niya, andipod ug oxy. Okay? So, like I said in our previous session, giputol-putol ra niya human ilar po isumpay-sumpay. So, in a way, it doesn't look very kung di pa kayo ka-familiar sa soil science, particularly soil taxonomy sa United States Department of Agriculture, ang murag weird siya basahon. Pero after some getting used to, ang dating niya is actually more or less intuitive na siya. Kumbaga dali na lang. Kasi the more nga imuhan ning bagat-bagaton, the more nga ma-memorize nimo or masabtan nimo. So here, while lalis, dili kay kusuito ani, but klaro kay na ents. So, those are entisols. Because for inceptisols, it should be ept. Dapit sa last. Then, molisols, mol niya, ver, ang usa or verti. Okay? Next. The Philippines adopts the blank soil classification system. Unsa may gi-adapt na to sa Philippines? Okay? Actually, ang gi-adapt na to, kining letter A. Okay? Ang FAO, last time kini akong ipakita, there are pila man ka soil, 12 soil orders. Ang sa FAO 33 ba to ni sila o 34? Di ko familiar sa ISSS. I think what's adopted by ISSS is from FAO. Sa British lahi pod ang ilaha, British Soil Classification System. So ang Pilipinas, since most Filipino soil scientists are trained in the US, mas familiar sila sa soil taxonomy. And mao po ilang ipagtudlo nato nga sumusunod. Okay, next. So again, that's letter A. 24. A soil horizon is defined as blank. The depth of finely divided soil mineral over bedrock. I don't think so. A soil layer that differs in recognized properties from other layers below. Probably that one. The slope of the soil surface relative to the horizon. Nope, not that one. All of the above. Oh, definitely not that one because dili naman gud ni maoning uban. So, ang soil horizon, we'll go to the textbook definition. Soil horizon meaning no. Horizon defined. Let's see. Dara, kini. Last time dali araman dayo nala internet. Last time when we had our session, pagkayayaa sa internet, a layer of soil approximately parallel to the surface, having distinct characteristics produced by soil forming processes. So, kaning color nga lahi-lahi is just one of that characteristic nga distinct. Okay? So, ang top part or ang O horizon, ang A horizon, are darker because of certain reasons compared to that of the B horizon. Also, B horizon looks different from that of the C horizon because of various reasons nga nahimo na. It's not just the color, so there are other characteristics. So, I don't know if we've talked about this one before. Na ganitay additions or removal of certain materials from one layer to the other depending on the age of that particular soil. Ang kining characteristic na dark coloration sa topsoils simply because of the accumulation of organic matter. That organic matter do not normally, okay, percolate or settle into the next layers. Okay? So again, a layer of soil approximately parallel to the surface having distinct characteristics produced by soil forming processes. Basta makahiter na ko, mukitib naman lang si Modric lagi. But anyway, yeah. So, that was 24. Okay, 25 this time. Soil texture that would be best for growing lowland rice. Without seeing the choices, best kuno for growing lowland rice, and we're talking about texture. Adto sa nato balikan unsa man ang texture. Okay. Soil texture defined. Dera. Bastang daliab sa na internet. Tin ako maghimog presentation. The relative proportions, let's just wait a little bit para mo klaro. Tugay lagi. It has something to do with the internet, but still it's readable. Yun. The relative proportions of the various size groups of individual soil grains, namely the sand, silt, or clay, or basically unsa kadagkua, unsa kagamya ang soil particles. Karon ang pangutana, unsa man ang best for growing lowland rice. you are all too familiar nga ang lowland rice, okay, is grown in paddies unya submerged conditions. Unsa may nindot nga yuta, I would go for clay. Kadtong fine particles, clayey soils nga muhold og tubig. Yun. Next, sandy loam, clay, silty loam, silty sand. Alams na. That should be letter B. Okay? 26. A sedimentary rock which is a re-cemented clay. Na. Unsa man ni siya? Kalimot ko. I think that's shale. Dili ko sure ani man. Sandstone is re-cemented sand. Okay, siltstone is re-cemented silt. Conglomerate kadtong sa halo-halo na ni siya. Nagsagol-sagol na. I think it's shale. Ato, shale. Wait. Shale. Description. Shale description. Uy, puro raman ni asa man ang shale. Sedimentary rock ang shale. Dili ta dire sa images. Ari ta dire. Fine-grained rock made of compressed mud and clay. Alams na. Okay? Alams na. So, ana ra ta, maro lang ta. Pero, during your board exam, dili man nga na kadali kay wala man may internet. Okay? So, you really don't need to memorize all these things. Kiti magod na siya ma-memorize in the first place. So, what you need to do is you try to review like heartily as much as possible. I would suggest nga, ang buhaton ninyo guys, basa mong libro. Wait, pangayo mo ni Miss Rene Jane o copy sa iyang libro na siya. I can also share it to you later on. Kung naay mangayo, magpaabot ko og naay mangayo. Di ko mohatag og way mangayo. Basahang layo pa man ang board exam. In fact, I think this year wala may board exam. Basahan yun ninyo ang libro. Try to understand. Do not limit yourselves to reviewers. For example, just like this one, nga atong go over karon. Ang tendency is improperly made ang mga questions. Nga na gani. So na ay mga items nga mo-overlook. So if you really want to grasp the concept, try to read the full text. Bahalag taas, bahalag dugay. Total layo pa man ang board exam. So later na ta mo usap og reviewers kung dul-duol na lang, like say maybe mga 3 months before the board examination. So right now, try to read as much as you can. Okay? Kaya na pamantay time. So, okay na ha. Like I said, dito po when you take the board exam, wala na mo reference. And like I said, you cannot memorize everything. So having said that, okay, dapat well founded ang inyong preparation nga. Kinanglan ang proper understanding. It's not memorization kay pagkalisura ng memorization, mapandol ka kausa di na taka-answer. Sunod, a soil order characterized as shrinking and swelling dark clay soil. So kini I do remember ani yun, vertisols yun ni siya. So it's a kind of clay ang naa dito. Mo po din ato ang manotice sa kanang mga tawag ini rice fields wherein it's a type of clay nga og mobasa, muswell siya, muburot unya human inig kaugapod mo na siya nga mangliki. So the correct answer for this is vertisols ni siya. Okay? Og mulalis mo na ako anay mga brita og kuan vertisol characteristics. Okay, yun. Are clay soils that have deep, wide cracks, and for some time during the year, they shrink as they dry and swell as they become moist. Ingnan bitaw. See? I just told you that kaganiha. Kini, this is one of those things that I sort of memorized over the years. Pero wala tuyo makaton ra ka. It is an amorphous or less crystalline clay developed from volcanic ash. I'm not sure about this, but I think it's Montmorillonite. Let's try to look that up. Di po ko ka-explain ani sa uban. Montmorillonite. Okay, Montmorillonite. Basta mo ito sa taas kayo niya yung istorya. Wait. So, maora gyapon. Okay? Soil texture. Anyway, that's part of kuan na siya. May mineral aspect sa so, sa soil. So hatag na to na ni Miss Rene Jane. Sana kini dayon 29, the biochemical oxidation of ammonium to nitrate predominantly by autotrophic bacteria. Hatag na ni Miss Rene Jane. Mas familiar siya ana. Di kay ko familiar ani. An example of physical weathering process. Okay. Physical weathering. I already have partly mentioned sa inyo ha. We are on number 30, okay? Example, unsa ko na example. Again, it's not a question. An example of physical weathering process is okay ra di siya. Exfoliation, hydrolysis, hydration, oxidation. Kini hydrolysis, hydration, or oxidation are all chemical. So even if I don't know what is exfoliation, I think that might be the answer because I know nga kaning tulo are all chemical weathering. So as mentioned before pod in our previous session, nagahisgot ko dito nga duha ka pathways ng weathering. So one is ang chemical weathering, the other one is the physical weathering. Physical weathering is basically the breaking down from bigger into smaller particles. Ang chemical weathering is the breakdown from complex minerals or primary minerals into simpler forms or the secondary minerals. So hydrolysis, hydration, oxidation, di lang ako explain kalimot po ko, are all chemical weathering pathways na siya. Exfoliation, kanang mga panit ba pre nang butangan ninyo inyong dagway o astringent katong mga babae nya manay mga exfoliant para mapanit na siya. So exfoliation is basically the removal of the outermost surface sa isa ka rock. The perfect explanation would be alternate heating and cooling. So like for example in deserts or in arid areas wherein doon na kay rock, it's exposed to the sun. When the sun strikes it, it heats up during the day, and during the night, it cools down. The following day, mo init na pod. So, it's okay. During the day, mo init na pod, ikagabi, mo bugnaw na pod. So, alternate heating and cooling, mo expand mo gamay, di ba? Kinumdo mo na yung mga butang, mo expand mo gamay, mo expand mo contract, mo expand. After some time, resulta mabuak so mo na siya nga mo exfoliate na siya. So it's the outer surface ang una nga mag-break down ng mga tangtang. I've seen a picture of that one. Nga nindot kaayo nga let me see. Exfoliation rock. Kaniyo murag cabbage, no? Kani man na perfect example sa exfoliation. Nag-anam og kapanit. Continuous na siya nga expansion and contraction. Balik-balik hantod mga ak-ak lang naa sa gawas. Kini this is a perfect kani kani. Okay, so mga panit siya. So mag-una og since ang outermost part maoy mo expand, mo contract, so mo undergo siya og fatigue, no? Material fatigue muna nga mga buak para gud na og kanang putaw atong balion balik-balik atong balik ingana resulta maputol gyud siya eventually. All right, padayon 31, generally coarse textured soils are characterized as soils with, okay, take note ha, A, B o C og D tapos sa babaw, coarse textured soils atong gisgutan karon ha. So kung coarse textured soils, dagko ang iyahang particles duol dito sa sandy soils. Okay, sandy or loamy soils ingana. Low water holding capacity. Yes, it's correct, no? It's characterized to have a very low water holding capacity. Think of the sandy beach. Ug mangihi mo, di gina mo paddle ang inyong ihi dito sa beach. Muhunob na tanan because of the large pore spaces or what we call as the macropores. Next, low total surface area. Okay. Surface area concept. I think I elaborated on this one before sa inyo ha. Think of this kani siya kung tahay sumpay ni. This is a big one. Ani siya unya na siya surface, but if I try to cut this smaller, napay additional surface nga ma-expose. So The larger the particle, generally, and the smaller the particle given a certain volume, given a certain weight, generally has a lower surface area compared to smaller particle soils. So a cubic meter of clayey soil has way larger surface area, total surface area, compared to a cubic meter of sandy soils. So yes, letter A is sakto, letter B is also sakto. Let's try to see what's letter C. Nanapod ang all of the above. Alams na low water holding capacity of katong ihi example ganiha is a perfect kumbaga explanation for the high, or perfect example for the high percolation rate. So yeah, normally like I said, if you see the all of the above option, normally that's the correct answer na. So letter D. 32. These are naturally occurring inorganic substances with fairly, let me see the time. Yeah, 31. Ato lang ilimit na to ang ako ang time para nga sayon inig upload. Putlon tani karon after ani sa 32, and then I'll have another video para sa next part na pod. Okay? These are naturally occurring inorganic substances with fairly definite chemical composition and specific physical properties. A correct answer, Ana, is minerals. Ang rocks, yes, are composed of minerals, but the weights, this kind of textbook definition mo sa minerals dire. Igneous rocks is just a subset of rocks. Primary mineral is just a subset of mineral. Pwede man siya secondary, pwede man siya primary. So, all these are actually not wrong answers or partially right, pero the most appropriate answer for number 32 is actually letter D, or minerals. Sometimes you don't get to see a wrong answer, so you find the most appropriate answer of itong pinakaduol. So kini chicken rapod ni kay this is the textbook definition. Alright, so I'll stop this video here, and then I'll have another video from 33 padong na pod somewhere. Okay, so murag on average we cover about 15 questions. Minusan pa na sa atong gipasa ni Ma'am Alis na. So siguro mga 10 questions in 30 minutes. So I think that's optimum. All right. See you in the next video na pod. Bye-bye.